Great day, great day, great day. Welcome, everyone. How are you guys doing today? It's your girl, Raquel May David. Hi. And we have my co host, David Sanchez. We were meant to be. So, so we are here to help you with being a beast in these credit streets. While we are allowing some people to come in, because we like to start either 8:05 or 8:10, I want to be able to open the floor for anyone that may have questions so we can go ahead and support. So if you have a question about the platform, please come off of mute and it'll be my pleasure to go ahead and support. Or if you can't come off of mute, I do see that Michael is in here, but I don't see that you have audio. Please drop your questions in the chat. And we're going to allow about 9 more minutes for everyone else to get in the room. Mhm. Any questions? Any questions? I see that we have Michael here. Is anyone else there? Okay, I can see it now. Sorry, I just saw that. I am co-hosting. I think I might do this one a little bit different if we have all users here. Then I might just open the floor for us to dive in completely on just credit questions. So let's see what's going on. If you guys are new here, I do want to tell you guys about the community, just for anyone that's watching it on the replay. Dispute Panda has a wonderful community that I like to tell everyone about. And I'm going to actually pull it up and share it. Give me 1 second. What site is this? Okay. You know that I actually updated my browser this time. So this is a running joke, y'all, just in case y'all don't know. I am very bad at updating my Chrome extension, or even like when a new version comes out for the MacBook, I will let it sit there for days. Okay. And that's just who I am. I know my flaws. So with that being said, I have gone ahead and decided to do an update. So there's a lot of things that are missing. Hello, support team. Can anyone tell me where I can find pre-stamped peel and peel envelopes? Um, that's a great question. Let me ask that question. So this is the forum for our community. So on here, if you guys have any questions, concerns, or comments, the support team does review the file. So I do go ahead and normally tell everyone, excuse me, that if you have a question, concern, or comment, you could definitely look on here. Sometimes when I'm on live, I will go ahead and open, if we're waiting for people to come in the room, I will open it up and read some of the questions and try to answer it. So we're gonna give everyone a little bit more time. We're gonna get started at 8:10. This is going to, right now what we're looking at is a Dispute Panda community. And I'm just gonna answer a question on here. Day, try Amazon for the peel envelopes. And art when you are asking about the stamps, the pre-stamped, are you speaking of a of stamps or pre-stamped envelopes. I know about Amazon for the pre-stamps, for the peel and seal envelopes. Have you heard of anyone that gives you pre-stamp? Because from my understanding, like Pitney Bowes is the only one that gives you that. I've not heard of it. Um, yeah, I've only heard of that. Welcome to the room. Welcome to the room, guys. We're giving some time for everyone to get in. So if you have any question or concern, this is an open floor until we got 4 more minutes, and then we're gonna dive in. What would
FP
this
Solutions,
software?
I think they might the pre-stamp peel maybe.
I'm thinking, like, my only thing is when we do, if you do pre-stamped, how are you going to gauge it, especially if it's too heavy? You get what I'm saying? Like, not like sometimes I have letters that are only 7 to 11 pages, but like I have another client who has 30 pages, right? So that pre-stamped envelope wouldn't work because I would have to add more stamps to it. But I'm guessing Pitney Bowes might be the answer, that they can actually get a Pitney Bowes in their home. Michael's question is, would this software help me remove stuff from chapter 7? So would help you remove, yes, the answer to the question is yes. The flow that is in the worksheet that we're going to cover today, the flow guide, does allow you to go ahead and work on bankruptcy as well as repos and charge off as well as collections. Great question. Good. So I don't have to hire an agent. No, you don't have to hire an agency at all. There are some additional tactics that you can use to be more aggressive to get it off, because a lot of times you're fighting with the credit bureau and the secondary bureaus. So you would have to make sure that you're cleaning it off of the secondary bureaus as well as the primary bureaus as well. So I do not cover additional tactics in this call. I just cover the software. Does it help with timeshare? It can help with timeshare, but I'm going to tell you that personally, for me, I have a litigations person that helps me with the timeshare, because a lot of times how you can get out of the timeshare is based on the verbiage in the contract. So once you've done like your rounds of attacks with the flow, what I always recommend, if you're not able to get it off there, is to go the litigation route. Um, and I can definitely share the litigations person's information. Just shoot me an email and I will drop my email here so that you guys can connect. What else was I gonna say? So the flow that we're gonna cover will cover every single thing, which is charge off, repos, chapter 7. This flow covers all of that. But if you're looking for a more aggressive tactic for that, then I would say that I do have classes that I have once a quarter, that we would cover some extra tactics there that you can also leverage. And I can send you my email, and once the next class goes out, you can get the information on when to come to the class and what the pricing point would be at that time. Let me go ahead and drop my email in the chat. We got 1 minute. 1 minute, Dougie Fresh, your own. Hold on. Let me drop my email in here. And if I'm actually switching systems, so I do apologize. Normally I would have a landing page, but I'm converting over systems, so I don't want to put anyone new in the old system. So shoot me an email, just say waitlist, and I will make sure that when the next class comes up, if I'm doing solely a bankruptcy class, I will make sure to send out the invitation for you to sign up for that class specifically. So excited. All right, welcome to the room. Welcome to the room. I love seeing cameras on. Let's get into it. I appreciate y'all coming on here, giving me y'all energy. Hold on. Let me answer this one question, then we're gonna get started. Top of the morning. I'm currently in round 5, the dispute flow with one of my clients. When it says to send letters to CFPB, what do I send? I'm down. Oh, they already answered that question. Okay. If no response is received. Okay, so they've already answered that question, so they are good to go. All right, y'all. So we are going to we are going to get started on today. Let's start with why you guys are here. So, again, for the people who just came into the room, I am your host, Raquel May David. My co host is David Sanchez. And of course, we were meant to be. All right. We are here to talk to you about the world's most advanced and effective AI powered credit repair software. And now, one of the major things that I love about this software is if you are brand new to credit repair, brand new, like you just decided that you wanted to start yesterday, you have the ability to go in and actually get a flow for you to hit the ground running. So while you're learning, like if you're like me, I'm Caribbean, y'all. So my parents are big on titles and certificates and degrees. So yes, for me, I did I did get all of the things. I got all of the degrees. I got all of the certifications from being a credit consultant to a score increaser. I did those trainings so that I could be able to really speak from a place of knowledge and not just like practicality. Like this is the practical stuff, but then this is really what's impacting the client. As we go through the class today, we're going to go over the most impactful and effective flow model that's available. So we're going to go ahead and show what was recently dropped. I'm also going to go over how we can do the process of credit repair with no overhead. So if you guys are on the free platform, we're going to cover that. We're going to cover some perks of the pro platform and what it offers you. And then we are going to load our client up, complete the first round of attack with $0 in my balance on today. That's my favorite part. Okay. So Ken said, what is the best attack for late payments? Any flow that you have. So if you're using the old flow, all of those flows work. I personally deal with the red and the blue attack. If you guys are using the new flow, then that flow is very effective for late payments and charge off as well. Um, we're going to go over the flows so that everyone kind of knows what I'm talking about, but I like to kind of go in order. So the first thing that we're going to cover is pricing. We're going to jump into training. And then from there, we're going to talk about contacts. I'm going to open the floor if you guys have any questions on what we cover. And then after we open the floor, I'm going to sign up with the software. I'm going to go through what the internal of the software looks like, load my client, and complete the first round of disputes while you guys are watching. If anyone needs to drop off, no sweat. Definitely, you can find the information in the community. You just have to click on Dispute Panda Live. You click past events, and the previous recordings are available, and any upcoming events are also accessible to you guys as well. Okay. So, and also we're on YouTube. So you can always watch us there, like, comment. You know what? I'm going to put it on my calendar that I'm going to go back to the YouTube channel every Saturday so I can engage with you guys, just in case you guys left anything on the YouTube channel that I can definitely answer, just to be on the safe side. So Dispute Panda is a very different software because it's completely free. It's a pay as you go software, which means you don't have to pay a monthly fee if for some reason you do not have clients. So let's say you got the Dispute Panda software, you fixed your credit, you fixed your mom's credit, you fixed your brother's credit, and then you don't need to use it anymore because you're not really helping anyone. Well, you don't have a monthly service for the Dispute Panda, right? However, every time you load a client in and you're doing a round of attack to the 3 major credit bureaus, it does cost $17 if you are using any other credit repair software outside of Credit Dyno. So if you're using My Score IQ, you're using Identity IQ, and you're using Smart Credit, that's where the $17 would apply. However, if you're not using them and you're using the Credit Dyno that was made for Dispute Panda, then your attack rounds are free. So right out the gate, that's helpful. Okay. Also, if you choose that you're going to do this as a business, you can do the pro option, which gives you a lot of integration, and we're going to cover some of those, but it gives you like a safe client portal. It allows you to upload your contract. It allows you to accept payments as well. As you're going through the software. So you can either pay the $1 for 14 days and then the $197, or you can pay for the full year, you could pay for the full year and not have to worry. And you get 2 months for free. So I definitely love that option. So that is the pricing point. Now, I like to cover the training. That is my favoriteest part. And I'm going to tell you why it's my favorite part. Because when we're looking at the training tablet, as I stated, this software is the only software I know of that teaches you exactly who you're sending the letters to, when you should send the letters out, kind of what to do from the ground up. So if you click on this that says free download, it is giving you the most up-to-date tested flow that is available to be used. Okay. So this particular flow is ideal for people who have the pro option because it's also generating letters not just to the actual credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion that's housing and calculating your numbers, but it's also giving you letters to the creditors and it's giving you letters to the secondary bureaus, okay, which is LexisNexis and Novus. I like to call them Big Brother in the sky because they hold your information and they forward it to the credit bureaus, which is why, as I stated earlier, it's cool to dispute with collections and charge-offs with the credit bureau, but understand that that information may also be at the secondary bureaus as well. And this flow gives you a full 12 months of what should you pick, how should you go. Someone asked in a previous class, oh, does it take 12 months? We're not saying it's going to take 12 months. It all depends on what the client's profile looks like, what are they executing, how are they showing up, all of those things, right, would apply in order for you to know where it's going to move. A typical client stays anywhere from 6 to 8 months. That's a typical client that will stay with you. As we go through, I'm going to actually give you guys a couple of tips as to what I give during my consultation and also things that I reiterate when I'm having coaching calls with my clients so that I could say, okay, Leandra, you were supposed to do A, B, C, and D, and from our first call to this call, those things haven't been done, right? So now accountability, because credit repair is a two-way street, accountability has to be had. So if you guys are looking for the most up-to-date flow that will help with repos, charge-off, collections, bankruptcy, this is the flow that you need, okay? Now, let's go back. So after you've downloaded your free guide at the top that tells you what letters to pick, when to pick the dates, who to send it off to for the secondary bureau, you're then going to be able to scroll down and watch the video. One of the things that I love about the videos is that if I'm not here Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, guess what, y'all? The videos are here to tell you every single thing specifically on each tab, how it works, how it helps, and how you can pivot with that, okay? The next tab I want to cover is the contact tab. Our customer service team is here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They can be reached directly at info@disputepanda.com. However, I like this option because if there's something going on with a client, you're able to go ahead and have like a really robust conversation with customer service. I like to drop this tool, so I'm going to drop it in the chat right now for you guys to leverage. I use a platform called Loom, Loom. I'm going to drop it in the chat. What I like about Loom is that, first of all, it's free. Okay. So we don't want to put additional things overhead, but it gives you the ability to create 5-minute videos that you can record your screen, send that video to the actual, like in this particular case, let's say you have Mikey. Okay. That's the client's name. You put in your name, you put in the email address, and then you can simply grab the link and drop the, sorry, hold on. You can literally grab the link, drop the link here. And what will happen is as soon as it's watched on that end, you get an alert that the video has been viewed. So this, I send this to my clients. I send this to my partners. I send this to, if I have a problem with customer service, I'm sending them that information like, hey, I'm going through and I'm not able to upload this file. I don't know what to do. Can you help me? Right? I send that information out. So with that being said, guys, I dropped it in the chat. Please use the tool. It's very helpful. It is free. Like I like to say, it's free for you, free for me. Have you had success with chapter 7? Yes, I actually have a client who's been with me for 2 months. We have gotten the chapter 7 and chapter 13 off of one credit bureau. We are still actively working with the others, but she's only been with me for 60 days so far. Okay. But great question. Yeah, for 60 days, she's been with me so far. So we were able to get that acclimated and solved. Great question. How long after did she start working on it? I'm not understanding the question, Michael. Do you want to come off of mute to rephrase? Oh, how long after the chapter 7 did
Yeah,
she
can you
start
hear me?
working on her credit repair? That particular client has known me for, like, she personally knew me for 3 years. The chapter 7 is about 4 or 5 years old. So I'm about 4 or 5 years out from when she filed it. That's one client. I've worked on clients who have filed a chapter 7 and like within the first year they've come to me and I've been successful as well. So the timing is not really the issue. What you have to, or what you're focusing on, is that the bankruptcy court says that they don't report it to the credit bureau. So that's one of the verbiages that you can leverage to try and get it off. But the letters that are here works as well. Okay, nice. I was wondering if you have to wait 30 days out. No, you can start disputing before, but just to set the stage, I normally would say don't start doing it until about 60 days after, because you want to make sure that all of the accounts that were included in the chapter 7 have already closed out, like they've been counted or whatever they're doing, so that when you're starting to aggressively dispute it, you're not just disputing the chapter 7, you're disputing all the accounts that are linked in the chapter 7 as well. What is the best attack for late payment, open and close? Again, the statement's going to be the same. The flow that you have here, my love, is the flow that I'm going to tell you to use. This flow is the most effective flow that you have, no matter what file you have. There are other things that you can add to it, but that would be outside of the class. If you're looking for an effective method, whether we're talking about late payments, charge off, repos, bankruptcy, this flow is a great flow. Great questions. I love it. Let me see if I got everyone. Have you had success? Yep. I answered that. That was a direct message. Cool. Before I go in and I sign up for the platform, do you have any other questions? Let me see. And just for the record, this software now has verbiage specifically to late payment. Oh, thank you, Michael. So this software has specific questions. The verbiage that is typed out, it's not as, it doesn't have the same language to remove. So if you're dealing with late payments, the system recognizes that it's a late payment account. It will also let you know if it's something that you should not really be concerned with, because it might be outside of that 24-month window, that it's not even impacting your client score. So it will give you those types of verbiage, but the system now has an algorithm that it literally gives you verbiage for late payments. So no matter what letter you select, once the system registers it as late payment, it's not asking for it to be removed, it's asking for the information to be updated or corrected from late to on time. Great questions, y'all. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in and sign up for my account. Mo better blue. And I'm going to put my phone number in. Now, if you have a company name and you're doing this as a business, by all means, put the company name in there. If you are not, you can leave it blank. It'll use your first and last name as the company holder. And then you're going to put the password in. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, I like free stuff. Okay. Just in case y'all didn't know, I like free stuff. I like to be in the know what's going on, what new projects, what new resources, whatever. So I will always click this box for y'all to email me and talk to me. Okay. It's completely up to you if you choose to click that box. You do have to select the box that you do by signing up. You agree to the terms and conditions that Dispute Panda has. It is then going to take you into the next screen where you are able to read the service agreement. The service agreement tells you how you should expect Dispute Panda to conduct their behavior and how Dispute Panda should expect you, vice versa, like what everyone is supposed to do, what's expectations on each level. And you want to scroll through it. Again, please do not sign it until you have the ability to read it. I'm just not going to read it on this call, but I do want to go through that. So you're going to hit accept and start and get started. This black bar is going to be here for you to verify the email. As y'all can tell, I chose a fake email, so we can't verify nothing. But don't fret. I am going to go ahead and we'll still be able to work through the actual platform, even though we do not have accessibility to verify the email at this time. Okay. So what I'm going to do is start with what's on this main page. We're going to go down the side panels. And then we're going to cover settings, and then I'm going to open the floor for any questions on what we've already discussed. And after that, we will load the client in and go through. Now, as I'm going through, we're going to talk about silent money, drip money. I love talking about drip money. This is ways that you can make money within the platform without you having to work harder to do so. All right. So to get started at the very top, if you want to search for a client, you can go ahead and search a client here. You do need to add at least 3 characters in order for the system to find the client. You can also click the client button here to see your clients, but we're going to cover that in a moment. On the main screen, you're able to see rounds, missing documents, birthdays, um on file, and then you are able to earn some money. So here is a referral agreement for you to refer people to Dispute Panda. So if you happen to be a realtor and you know other realtors that also want to be able to get started and be able to actually start their credit repair company, once you click the accept here, once it goes live, you will get your own affiliate link. And when you refer people to Dispute Panda, you'll be earning credits for them signing up under your login. Okay. Also, if you wanted to upgrade to Dispute Panda Pro, which we're going to cover all of the bells and whistles that are on there, payment forms, client portals, Zapier integration, one-click import, shareable reports. Need I say more? Like, we gonna cover all of them. Okay. So while you're in here, you do have the ability to sign up for Credit Dyno. Credit Dyno pays you anywhere from $8 for the basic plan all the way up to $22 for all of those clients that are enrolled under your particular code. Just a hack that I do is on the 1st, the 15th, and the end of the month, I make a post. Hey, do you know what your scores are? Hey, are you looking to buy a car? Are you looking to get that home? You can literally take that same information, market it to 3 different people, and put in your credit affiliate link, or have it at the top of your like a lot of people have, like what is it called? Bit.ly, or not LinkedIn. What's the other one, guys? Well, I can't think of it right now. But there's a lot of like templates that you guys can have on the top of your bio. And when they click it, they're able to go ahead and see all of your links that you have. You can drop this in there, or if you're sharing it in your story, you can just drop the link for them to click on. So definitely think about this option, because again, if you have your clients using Credit Dyno as the credit monitoring software, number one, you're getting to see their full 7 years of their credit report. That's one. Number two, you're making no less than $8 off of their credit monitoring. Number three, that $17 for the rounds is completely free. So every 35 days, you get a free round of attack when your client is signed up under Credit Dyno. So in essence, you're actually positive $25 per client if they're just using Credit Dyno. Just want to drop that tip. So definitely click that button so you can sign up. Is Credit Dyno a one-time fee? It's just like all the other credit monitorings, my love. They have to pay monthly for it. Great question. So with My Score IQ, they pay once a month. Identity IQ, Smart Credit, it's a monthly payment for them to keep the credit monitoring. If you want to sponsor your clients, you can. So yes, they pay for Credit Dyno for the credit monitoring monthly. If you choose to sponsor them, you can, but that means you're not getting any commissions off of them, off of you signing up and paying for them as a sponsor. So if you are doing it the way that I'm saying, your client is paying the monthly payment, you then go ahead and get paid every single month that they have made that payment. You do get paid monthly as long as you have $100. They only pay out once you hit that $100 cap. So if you're under that $100 cap, you wouldn't get paid out that month. The next month, if you're over, they pay out everything at one time. Great question. Thanks for clarifying, Ken. I appreciate it, friend. I appreciate it. All right, all right, all right. So we've covered this main screen client tab. So this is where you can see your active clients. This is where you can see your inactive clients. And if you're switching from another platform to this platform, you have the ability to go ahead and import them. Now, one of the great things that I love about our customer service team is that if you're having an issue with importing your clients, no worries. Go ahead and send them the CSV files. They will import your clients for you to make sure that their information comes in, and then they will message you when it's complete. So I definitely love them for that. The new client portal is where you can add the client, and we're going to go over that in a second. I want to make sure that we cover all of the other tabs. The letter tab is where we go to see all the letters that have been sent out for our clients. So in this particular breakdown, you have the ability to go ahead and see when the letters are sent out if you tell the system to send the letter out. So I will show you guys how you're able to do that. But if the system is mailing the letters out for you, it goes out at 12 p.m. if you're done the same day. If not, if it's after 12 p.m., it goes out the next business day. I get asked all the time, hey, Raquel, do you use a system? I use a system when I am traveling. However, if I am home, I do not use the system to mail out any letters. And the reason that I don't is twofold. Number one, I am aware of the coding for your state. And I'm in Texas, so my clients are here, right? And I'm also aware of the fact that my particular process, when I do credit repair, I have a power of attorney. So I send the POA with every single dispute letter that I use. So normally if I am home, I will print it out. I will stuff it. As a matter of fact, I got letters right now that I got to send out. Okay, y'all. So I do stuff it. I send my POA with every single letter that goes out. But if I am traveling, that will be the only time that I will let the system mail it out for me, because I want the letters to go out. My POA is already on file. It's just an extra layer of protection that I personally do for my clients, so that a lot of times the stuff can come to me. So when we're having that conversation, just for transparency, if I'm traveling, heck yeah, I use the mailing system to send it out. I love it. It's convenient. I don't have any issues. And if for some reason you certify it, so let me clarify, first class mail is just like you taking the mail and going to the post office. If you're wanting to have trackability, then you have to change it to certified mail. The flow that we have in here does not require you guys to have certified mail. So you can elect to do that. Best practices that I'm going to give is, if you're going to do certified mail, you want to do it in round 3. I just kind of tested it, and that's where I saw it was most impactful versus round 1. Now that method might be different if you're doing different tactics to get to your end goal. For instance, there's some people that when they do collections, right, if they're going into litigation, they only need 1 round in order for them to go to litigation. So for them, they may track the first round so that they have documented proof that the item was sent off. But the flow that we give you, you're not required to use certified mail at all. I want to make sure I made sense. Let me know if it didn't, so I can circle the block. All right. All right. The inbox tab is where you can communicate with your clients safely and effectively. It is a safe client portal. Can you drop your mentoring link? Can you drop your mentor link on the trade lines? I can give you my mentor link, my mentorship, but my trade line, if you shoot me an email, I have no problem sharing with you who I use for my trade lines. Not a problem. All right, all right, all right. So this is where you can have complete conversations with the clients. Give me 1 second. Let me drop my email again. so you can have it. And just put trade line request. And if you want the mentorship, let me know that as well. I'll be happy. Just put it in the email. I'll send everything over to you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So the reports tab, I'm about to tell you about these reports tab. I personally love it because I'm a show and proof type of fella. Okay, y'all. I'm a show and proof type of fella. Okay. So I like the reports tab, but this is a pro feature. I want to make sure that y'all can see. Okay. Hold on. Like the here it go. This is a pro feature, okay? So the report tab is located in two places. One is in the spot where your client, on your actual client level, so you can actually have this printout for your clients. And it's also available on the account level. So you can track how much dollars you have deleted. You can track how much increases you have. Like all of that information is trackable. And you can have conversations like I love having conversations when there's a negative, y'all. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. Because now I can educate you on what the client is not doing correctly as to why their scores drop and vice versa, right? Um, so this is located on the company level as well as in the client level. Now you can then take that information and you can turn it into a shareable content. So now you have more content that you can post on your social media. I like to do like updates, right? And I'll put updates for the month of May and I just drop it for the whole entire month. And it'll go in my stories. I'll make a collage. I use CapCuts, put it together as a little picture. Okay, do a little story about them. Like you could do all of that when you're going through the process. So this is one of the perks of going to the pro that you have accessibility to. The subscription tab is where you have the ability to go ahead and input your merchant service account. This is where you can go and make different payments and onboarding templates so that instead of you filling out the client's information, they can sign up, their information will automatically go in here. And if you have the pro, the Zapier connection will allow you can tell Zapier, okay, now that this is done, send them these emails, send them this information. Like you can have all of that there. So this is a really, really dope area. And like I said, you can make multiple plans. I have a plan just from when I do my DIY in-person training, that they can come in and they can sign up. So they can either do it that day and leave with their letters. If they sign up for my DIY program, like I literally bring my printer, I bring paper, I don't bring stamps. Okay. I bring envelopes though. I don't bring stamps. And they can leave with letters, or if they're at that DIY class, I would give them the ability to sign up for a discounted rate on enrollment in order for them to sign up for my program. So these are different ways that you can maneuver. And if you guys have more questions on this tab, let me know once I've finished onboarding the client. I can open up my test account and kind of show you guys what it looks like. Okay. The training tab and contact tab, I'm going to say this over and over again, y'all. If y'all have not downloaded the free guide, do not scroll, do not pass go. The very first thing you want to do is click on this tab that says free download. This is the most recent tested flow that does not require certified mail. Okay. It doesn't require colored either. So if you guys are black and white, if y'all are not like me, because I got two printers in my office because I be acting like I'm balling. I'm not. I be balling with paper. Okay. But but I have two printers in my office. So sometimes I'll run a couple under one and I run a couple under the other. So you guys have the ability to do both. So please, 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 when you click on the training tab, before you watch the videos, download the guide so that you can follow along. Now, some of the videos are showing the older flow, but you would still be able to have a concept of what's going on when you click that option. Okay, guys? The other option is the contact us tab. I did drop it before the link for Loom. If you guys do not have it, getloom.com. It is free 99. You can record up to a 5-minute video and show customer service what you have going on. A lot of times I tell people, you guys are using the platform on one end and the back office is looking at it from a different end. So sometimes if you show them the video of what you're looking at, it will give them a little bit more understanding of what you're looking for in real time. Plus, loom.com gives you a link for you to know that someone watched the video. Um, so that is covering all of this. There are two ways that you can get into the settings tab, guys. The one way that you can get in settings is by clicking these three dots and clicking on settings, or you can click on balance. It will open up the settings tab. I'm going to start from the top because that's what I like to do. So at the top, when you click on profile, it should have your name, your email address that you're using to log into the site as the account holder. And please be clear that I always stress that if you're going to use the platform, you need to add yourself into the platform. So with that being said, it is very important that you have a secondary email. So if your email address for the owner of the account is mobetterblues@gmail.com, then you need to create a mobetterblues2@gmail.com so that you can use it as a customer. Okay. Your phone number is fine. This profile pic only shows up for the pro. So if you put it in the free, you're going to end up, what's I going to say? You're the only person that can see it on the free platform. So you can put a picture in there if you like to. Definitely not a problem. The organization is where once you transition for doing this for like yourself, your friends, your family, you have the ability to go ahead and transfer over as a corporation. So remember at the beginning, the account itself, the company name is my first and last name. Well, if you decide that no, it's not going to be my first and last name, it's going to be Wealth Now is my company name. I can put it in there with my company URL, my support email, my phone number, my privacy, and also business address and my contract. If anyone wants a sample contract, I can drop it in the chat. Again, it is not state specific. Every state has different requirements. But if you guys want a starting point, I can drop a sample contract in there. Please be mindful that if you have the free account, that contract does not go out to anyone. Okay. So you would have to have a separate platform that's signing contracts. If you have the pro account, you're able to send it out. Nicole, I don't already sent you my contract, but I'm gonna drop this here. We gonna talk. We gonna talk, Nicole. Welcome, Nicole. Welcome, girl. If you want to add team members because you want to get your daughter, your cousin to learn how to do credit repair, you don't have to give them your sign-in information. So you can actually add them on as an authorized use, add them on as a team member with their email, and then they'll get an invitation and they'll be able to go ahead and plug in their own password and be able to log in and work the client files accordingly. The affiliate link is when you sign up to be an affiliate with all of these credit monitors. You can choose to have all of them, or you can choose to just have one. If you have the pro, when they log into the dashboard, and let me kind of show you what the dashboard looks like. So with the pro, this is what the client's dashboard looks like. If it was your company, it would have your company's information, website, phone number, and then this is the client's information. If they need to change their address, if they need to change anything, they can update it here. They can also speak to you. They can see the progress, all of that stuff on the pro. So this is what the Safe Client Access portal looks like. So it does not have anything that says Dispute Panda on it, guys. It literally just says Safe Client Access portal. And if you have your logo and things in here, it's visible for the client to see. Okay. But when they come in here and they're signing their contracts and everything, it will literally take them page by page and it will take them to a section to sign up for credit monitoring. So if you have all of these on, then your client will be able to see all of them. If you only want them to use one, like me, they only use Credit Dyno. So all of these are turned off, and the only one my clients can see is the Credit Dyno link when they're under the portal and they're onboarding. Okay. The dispute option is the address to the credit bureaus. This is the most used addresses. The credit bureau has upwards of like anywhere from 8 to 15 different addresses, y'all. But if you see that you're getting responses back from one particular address mostly, you can click this option and change it from that address that's in the system to this one. And now every time you print out your letters, it will print out with the address that you just updated to, specifically for the 3 major credit bureaus. Okay. The billing tab, I love this. Okay. This is where you can add money to your profile. You can upgrade, of course, to pro, but we have an amazing bonus option. The bonus option is you can subscribe and save. And that way, when you sign up for credit repair, when you sign up to put money on your books, instead of you getting $20 worth of credit, you get 30. Please bear in mind that the lowest amount that you can load on the profile, even though it only costs $17, is $20. So if you are doing this just for yourself and you're not using uh Credit Dino, you're using My Score IQ, Identity IQ, or Smart Credit, then it's going to cost you $17 for that round of attack. The static letters that are notated here that go to the secondary bureaus, guys, you need to have at least $1 in your bank in order for that letter to be generated. Those are free letters, but you have to have that $1 in your bank in order for the system to go ahead and process that letter. And I'll show y'all because the system don't play. If you can either sign up for $20 or $60. Now, if you're signing up for this, but you turn around and say, well, my cousin just signed up, my brother just signed up, they want to do credit repair. Wonderful. You cannot sign up again for a subscribe and save membership. You would have to purchase in bulk. So you can go ahead and purchase in bulk. You do not get the double your purchase just because you're on a subscribe and save. That only applies to those two levels, which is $20 or $60. What do you use to analyze your credit report as a summary as a consultant? So I use the Credit Dino actual credit report because it gives you the summary of kind of like what's being counted, what's not being counted, what their age are, like all of the areas that they need to work on is in the Credit Dino portal. So before I used to use a different software that would give me like a full analysis report. And I'm a part of a mastermind that they're coming out with a software. They have a software that does that for me as well. So if I want to gift the client analysis report, I would have the ability to do that. If you want information on that, just shoot me an email with that software and I'll be happy to go ahead and tell you more about it offline. Okay? Because that's kind of like back office, automation, all of that good stuff. The invoice tab, that's where you can see the invoices. You can see what if you're on pro, how much you're paying, any statements that are supposed to go out, you're able to see that information. The activity tab is where you can see the attacks, the mails, and any attack credits that go. So remember, when your client is using Credit Dino, they get a free round of attack every 35 days. I want to stress that because if for some reason you guys have VAs or you have your daughter working for you like I do, if they pull the credit report on day 32, you are going to pay $17 for that round of attack. You have to wait 35 days or longer. So my company is a 45-day company. So I don't pull the credit report, but every 45 days. Okay. So when you guys are doing the work and processing, I want to make sure that there's a clear understanding of that you get a free round of attack every 35 days and you can track it here in the system. And I'll show you when we load our test client. Okay. This is the integration tab. Once you go pro, you can integrate it with Zapier. And then, of course, the referral tab that I show you guys at the beginning, where you can sign up to be an affiliate, and any person you refer to Dispute Panda, you actually get free credits. Okay. So I've gone through the whole platform. I've gone through the settings. Before I load my test client in, does anyone have any questions, concerns, or comments? Hey, Sing, how are you? If you want to come off of mute, you could definitely come off of mute and just pop in and sit and ask your question, or you could raise hands, whatever works for you guys right now. Yeah, Nicole, you can come off of mute. What questions you have, my love?
Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. I have a question about Dispute Panda. So I just want to make sure that I'm understanding this correctly. So when you you have an option of doing the non-pro where you're paying for the attacks, or you could do the pro where you're not paying for it if you're under Credit Dino. Well, if your client's under Credit Dino, but if they're under anything else, you're going to pay your monthly subscription for Dispute Panda and the $17 for the attacks.
So let me make sure that I'm clear. Whether you're on the free or you're on the pro, if your client is using Credit Dino, you do not pay $17 at all.
Ah, okay.
So if your client is using Credit Dino, whether it's free or pro, their rounds of attack, as long as you're following that 35-day sequence, is completely free. If you pull their information on day 32, then you're going to have to pay the $17 because you're outside of that 35-day window that they're gifting you for free. So even if you check the credit report on day 38, then it's free. Day 37 is free. But it doesn't matter if you're on the pro or you're on the free plan. If your client is using Credit Dino, it's free every 35 days. If your client is not using Credit Dino, it again doesn't matter what plan they're on, you still have to pay the $17 per round. The only difference is for the pro, you have to pay that monthly fee.
Got it. But you don't get that much with the free one. So it's best to have the pro because you get all those other bells and whistles that you just went over.
Correct. And if you have the pro and you have Credit Dino, you now have a more aggressive attack because the system will automatically give you letters for the creditors as well. So you're going to get letters for the credit bureau.
Okay.
Right? You're going to get letters for the creditors, and you're going to get letters for this. You're going to be able to produce letters for the secondary bureaus as well. Any other questions, my love? Great questions. All right. Thank you, honey. Since said one of my clients' account is charged off and closed and they got a court date, what steps should they do? Go to court? If they have a court date, they need to go to court. If they do not go to court, they are going to be a default judgment against them. I can't, in this particular call, I cannot discuss like what attack methods you have or you can utilize because this call is specifically for the platform. But I have no problem dropping my calendar that if you want to specifically speak about a specific topic, you can definitely bring the client's file into the room, and on that book call you can go over that with me. Do we still get paid our monthly referral fee even if correct, your monthly referral fee has absolutely nothing to do, your $8 that you make, your $8 to $22 depending on what account the client gets, has absolutely nothing to do with them getting the free round of attack. The perk that the system, because Credit Dino was built specifically to help work with the work together. So Credit Dino was built for Dispute Panda. Like it was built to be integratable. So at the end of the day, we're not taking anything away just because of the fact that your client is signing up every month. You still get your $8 credit month after month after month. Great question. Let me get y'all code. Give me 1 second. View page. All right, I'm gonna drop it in the chat. So if anyone wants to speak about specific methods for their clients outside of, then I went ahead and dropped my link to go ahead and book a one-on-one call. Also in the community, every now and then I will drop a Zoom link for like an open workroom, and you guys can come in for the free 99 and just kind of like work files with me. If you have questions, I answer them there. It makes it so much easier. Also, whenever I send an attack letter to the bureaus, they reply that is not coming from me. So that is a stall letter, and I will show, that is a stall tactic. I will show you and tell you the best way that you can handle that once I get in the system, because there is a specific letter for it. And the pro people have a little bit extra perk when it comes to that option, to make it easier if you want the system to mail it out for you. But I will show you exactly how you can reply to that because there is an answer in the system for you. Great questions. Any other questions, guys? I love Ken's like, I want to make sure I got my money, honey. That's right, Ken. Okay. Ask about that moolah. You still get it. Look, you still get it, I promise. Great questions. All right, any other questions? If not, I'm gonna go ahead and start loading the clients in. I'm gonna start loading my dummy client. As a matter of fact, before I do that, I'm gonna give y'all a few more minutes to ask questions. I have to find a dummy, a test client that I can use. Let me see if this person has one. We got 2 new messages. I can't see the messages, guys. So if you guys have the ability to come off mute, it'd be greatly appreciated. If not, just give me 2 seconds. Let me grab this contact information so that I can make sure I have my test client. Hold on 1 second, y'all. All right, it looks like we're good to go there. We're gonna log. Oh, nope, that's not what I said to do. I'm gonna sign up here. All right, let's minimize it. Okay, so I see that we had some messages in the chat. Oh, thank you. It's my pleasure to help. What attack method we can use when one credit bureau has blank, no data, and the other one has some data? What attack letters can we use for that? So that is a system error. So let me clarify. I know that for a lot of people that were using Credit Dyno, I want to say last month you were having an issue. That is why I personally do not, like, I have affiliate links with multiple places. When that happened last month, what I did was I switched my client over to Smart Credit for that month, and I just absorbed the cost for the 17 because the other credit monitoring was showing all 3. But that was like me jumping the gun. What I actually did was contacted Credit Dyno to let them know that we were having that error, and they actually were able to go ahead and fix it. I just wanted to fix it right there because, y'all, I work at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes. Don't let my husband not talk to me, okay? If my husband don't talk to me, I'll be in this office working. So because of that, I just kind of looked at what's an alternative solution. So for me, I went and I used one of my other credit monitoring tools to kind of pull the client's information. But if you're having that happen to your client, it's not a tactic that you're using. It sometimes is a glitch that's happening from us pulling the information from the credit bureau. Because remember, the credit bureaus do not, like, you can't go to like Experian.com or TransUnion.com and pull the credit report. They don't give anyone access to their software. So we have to use an intermediate company, which is what the credit monitoring softwares do, to capture that information and then talk to our systems. So if you are still having that issue, please reach out to the back office and reach out to Credit Dyno customer service so that they can correct it for your client. I just like to be solutions-based, y'all. So sometimes I jump the gun. Just keeping it honest. All right. That was a good question, Sing. Any other questions, my love? Did that help? Let me know if you have any other questions. Thanks, David, for dropping it in the chat. So if you guys are not paying attention to the chat, please do. David did drop the link for our YouTube channel. So if you guys came in a little bit late and want to watch the replay for the rewind, y'all have access to do that, of course. All right, so it looks like I've answered all the questions. I'm scrolling up. I got some direct people that sent me something offline, guys. I will go ahead and circle back and answer you guys. So I appreciate that. All right, so I'm going to sign up for my dummy account, okay? So on this platform, the only thing that is required to be completed is anything with the red asterisk. If it doesn't have a red asterisk, it doesn't have to be filled out. What I do like to be transparent about is I personally deal with a lot of times the whole family, the mother, the father, the son, the brother, like I'm dealing with everyone. With me dealing with everyone, it is imperative that I go ahead and notate, like if it's a senior or junior, the third. I personally will put that on there, especially if the client is using junior, third, fourth, like it's on their ID, I'm plugging it in. Is it necessary? No. The only thing that you need to dispute credit repair is first and last name. Okay. As I said, you have to have a different email address in order for the system to work. If you try to use the same email address, it will tell you no, and it's not playing. It will not move any further, and it will not load your client in. Okay. You want to put the last four. And when we get to the address, okay, Bird Lane, you can put the suite, you can put the unit, you can put the apartment number, whatever goes there. But the city, state, and zip code, guys, it needs to go in its designated position, because if it does not, you run the risk of the letters not printing properly. We don't want that to happen. So if you can, make sure that you're taking the time to kind of go through step by step by step what has to happen. All right. You put the client's birthday in here. And then if you have the pro, you would click this button. It will automatically send them a link that they can log into the client portal. From there, they'll be able to see the contract. They'll be able to sign up for the credit monitoring. They'll be able to do everything once you click this button. If you click this button and you have free, it ain't doing nothing. Nathaniel Bartholomew Johnson, nothing. All right, y'all. So you're going to hit save. I think I'm gonna use this again. So yeah, I'm not gonna save her. We'll use her again though. So this is where you now get into the documents tab. I like to stop right here, y'all, and we're gonna talk about the documents that are needed. If your client has recently moved, they lived in Tennessee, they now live in Zimbabwe, they now live in Rucker, New York. If that ID does not match where they are stating that they live, you are not going to use the ID as proof of identification. The point is to get one address, one name, one date of birth, one social on the credit report. That is the ultimate goal. All right. So in order to do that, if your client's ID is out of date, it doesn't have their name spelled right, whatever the situation is, move on to something else. Move on to their social security card. Don't use their driver's license. If you're going to use a bill, best practice, y'all, you're going to get an updated bill every 60 to 90 days. Because as Singh said earlier, the credit bureau loves to say that they're going to stall you out. And that is definitely an out of date documentation will be grounds for them to stall. Okay. And I don't want that to happen. So this information, I used to have it as a screen grab and I decided to mess up my computer, y'all. So I had to go to the video, and this is how to add a client to Dispute Panda credit repair software and get a free round of attack. So if you guys are not able to download it, I put it in the chat. You can still get this information on the videos that's on the platform. Okay, let me move this down. Cool beans. Now, the only things that are required is the proof of identification and the proof of address. If you are using the social security card as a proof of identification, you do not need to add it in the other template. It doesn't need to go there. The system will not move forward unless these two spaces are filled in. I'm gonna show you guys what I like about the system. So you could drag and drop. First of all, the credit bureau don't need all your clients' information. They too nosy. You're gonna crop down to exactly what you need it to show on the credit report when you're sending out supporting documents. The goal is for you to have no more than 1 to 2 sheets of paper when you are trying to validate your client's information. So you're going to hit crop and save. And you see, this is all that's going to be printed is the address, the date, and that's it. They don't need to know what the past due amount is. First of all, if we're already trying to fix their credit, we definitely don't want no past due information on there. So you want to go ahead and crop it, and that way it can all fit on one sheet of paper. Okay. If they give you the ID and it's a big old, I took my picture, y'all, and my ID was on I have a covering on my computer desk, and it's a big old elephant. So it was like this big picture. You can put it down to size. All you have to do is grab it and control it. And the system will go ahead and crop and save it to what you have. In this particular case, I am going to add the social security card. Again, it is optional because I have an address with a valid address on the driver's license and the address. I know it doesn't match on here, y'all, because this is a dummy one, but let's just say it did. I would not have had to put the social security card. And you want to make sure the address on the bill matches the address on the ID. If not, use something else. Okay? If you are using Smart Credit, Identity IQ, My Score IQ, these two templates are what the options are going to be. This one is specifically for Smart Credit. This one is for Identity IQ and My Score IQ. But if you're using Credit Dyno, you do not have to do an extra step. So if your client has My Score IQ, Identity IQ, Smart Credit, you have to log into that portal every 35 days or every 30 days to get an updated credit report and then bring it over here. With Credit Dyno, you don't have to do that. You literally just come here. So let's pretend that this was month 2 and not that this is month 1 for the client. Their login information will already be here. We're at 35 days. I would click one-click import, and guess what? Every 35, ooh, they didn't pay their stuff. Hold on one second, y'all. Every 35 days, I'm able to come in and update the info, get a one-click import for the actual client. Give me one second, y'all. I'm gonna get another client. Give me 2 seconds. Let me see. They're due soon, so I don't want to pull their numbers just yet. Hold on one second. Ooh, let's see. Michelle. Deborah, look at me. Deborah, Michelle, Leanne. We're just trying to find somebody. Hold on one second, y'all. Okay, let's try this person. Let's see if this person paid. I feel something good in my spirit, man. It's taking a little while, y'all. So, boom. So here's how you guys see that it automatically says you have a free round of attack, and it says 1 free round of attack awarded per client per month every time there is a 3 bureau pull. Limit 1 free attack per 35 days. So as long as they're in the program, you have Credit Dyno. Every 35 days you pull, you're getting a free round of attack. I don't have to log into Credit Dyno. I don't have to look at Credit Dyno. I literally come here every 45 days. Now, I do extra stuff, so I do log into Credit Dyno. But what I'm saying is, if you're just using the system and you're not as aggressive as me, you can literally just do the one-click import, and guess what? All the information is there. So before you can go to what you need to attack, you have to look at the client's profile to see what is on the actual credit report and what you need to dispute. So with that being said, guys, I want us to start at the top, okay? So the first thing you're going to see is inquiries. The inquiries are all of the information that is on file that has been a hard inquiry for your client. If you're using a Windows, you want to use Control F. If you're using a Mac, you can use Command F. What you're able to do is go ahead and type in the account that's listed, and that way you can see if the client does have open and active accounts with that particular vendor. My best practice is if we're talking about a credit card or a credit line, we do not, I'm going to say this again, we do not select this to be disputed, because you run the risk of that credit line or credit account being closed for your client. You don't want to run that risk. So if it's like this one's JP Morgan and Chase Auto, by all means, you click the auto. If the auto loan gets removed, guess what, guys? It's not causing a problem. If the home mortgage gets removed, it's just not reporting that debt. But if it was a credit card with JP Morgan and Chase, you are looking at it being a major problem. Okay, guys. So you want to make sure that you're doing best practice. My job, I feel like I'm the doctor of credit. So I'm not here to do any harm. I'm here to help you be a beast in these credit streets and making sure that I'm advocating for you through the process. Okay. So first you have the inquiries. If they had public records, it would go underneath public records or judgments, liens, bankruptcies, things like that will show up there. The accounts itself are here. Now, I'm going to show you one of the things that I really, really like about Dispute Panda. Let's see. I'm going to click on this. Okay. So when you're leveraging Dispute Panda, it gives you the information such as what was the credit limit that was given to the client, what is the balance that they have left owed, what was the payment amount, and kind of having a clear idea of what their payment history is. Now, the payment history, we all know it's worth 35%, but I like to have real deep conversations on my clients, such as what does that equate to in points? So, point wise, your payment history calculates to 192.5 points. That's what your payment history, you pay on time every single month, you're going to get 192 points. Okay. You paying more doesn't change the fact that the max that you can get in that arena is 192.5. Okay. When I'm then looking at my client's health, what is their utilization ratio in response to how much available credit that they have? That's worth 165 points. You get the whole thing if you are basically using 7% or lower. But the more you use, the less your credit score is going to be. So if you have a client that is over the limit, the best practice tip that you're going to give them is you're going to pay the minimum payment times 2 plus $4. What that does is that gives them the ability to create breathing room that when the next interest rate hits or the next interest hits on their cycle, it does not send them back over the limit. Okay. But as you guys are going through, you're educating your client that, hey, for you to be in a 700 club, we really need your utilization to be at 20% or lower. For you to be in an 800 club, we need you to be at 7% or lower. Now, that doesn't mean you don't use your card. That means that before the statement closes, you have paid the balance down to the lowest common denominator. Okay. So if they can keep 10% on every single card, whenever the payment's about to cycle, and they'll say stuff to me like, well, I only got $1,000. What am I supposed to do? Well, if your bill is $1,000, but your bill's not due until the 15th, but your statement date closes on the 5th, take that $1,000, put it on your credit card, wipe that credit card to zero if it's $1,000 limit. Now, especially if that's your only credit card, y'all, right? So now you would have 100% on that one particular card. You wait for your statement date to close, and then you go ahead and use that same card to pay that same $1,000 bill that you had to pay on the 15th. The game that you're playing is the statement date game. That is when your information is going to be tattletale to the credit bureau. And given the fact that the two major points equals 65 points of your overall score, it would make sense that you're leveraging the statement date to be aggressive. So I like to explain to my clients, the statement date is when your little sister is going to tattletale on you. Your due date is the latest possible day you can make the payment before a late fee is assessed onto your profile, or if it's outside of that 30-day window, because remember, you're not late to the credit bureau until you are 30 days past due. So if your client pays on the 28th day, if they pay on the 27th day, if they pay on the 26th day, that cannot be reported as late to the credit bureau because they're not. The credit bureau counts you late at day 30. If you're talking about student loans, the credit bureau don't count you late until you're 90 days late. So your clients have the ability to create breathing room if they are educated on what they need to look out for. Okay. Any questions on what I covered just now? Let me know. Y'all can come off of mute. Y'all can raise your hand. Right. Whichever one works. If you guys have premium letters, you can go ahead and drop those premium letters here. So if you have letters that you know has worked before, you can literally put it in the system and hit use template. And then when you go to do the round of attack, that letter will be printed out for you. So if you guys are a little bit more seasoned and have letters that have worked, you can utilize that. If you don't, You just leave it blank and the system will do the letters for you. You don't have to do anything additional. Okay. Once you're done, you hit save filter, and now you're able to go to the rounds of attack. So before we start the first round of attack, any questions on what I've just covered so far? You can drop it in the chat. You can raise your hands. Any questions? It looks like there's none. Hold on, let me make sure. All right, cool beans, guys. Let me go ahead and start setting that up. So when we get to the attack round, here's where the guide comes in handy. So I'm going to show you how you do it for the free account, and I'm going to also show you how it works for the pro account, okay? So the first round of attack is Punch of Fury, Supreme Boosted. I'm also going to tell you guys a hack that I use is in round 6, I always use the Paralyzed Touch attack. I don't care what flow I'm using. I don't care what I'm doing. Round 6, I use the Paralyzed Touch attack because it separates all of the debt. And it, to me, it's just a more aggressive letter. I feel like once I send that letter out, it's just amazing. What questions do you have, Ken?
Can the system delete inquiries on an open account? Like, let's say, for instance, I have a Chase account and I tried to get a loan and it gave me inquiries. Can they take that inquiry off without them closing the account? Because I know a lot of times if you have the account and you challenge the inquiry, it'll close the account.
That applies to credit cards or credit lines. It doesn't apply to auto loans or mortgages.
I
So
know
you
that,
do-
but what about is there a way to take the inquiry off on a credit card that you have without it closing the account?
That's what I'm advising. I don't recommend it because it's hit or miss. There's some people that have done it and it does not close the account, and there's other people who have done it and it did close the account. So for best practices, we advise that you do not do that if it's
Okay.
an open and active credit card. Does that
All
make
right, thank
sense?
you. Yeah.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Yeah, I know that. I thought it was a way to do it. That would be
Nope,
great.
because we don't have any control over it. We don't have any
Yeah,
control
that's
over it.
true.
When it
That's
goes to the credit bureau, it's completely up to them, and it's up to. So what I can tell you guys that I have heard before is that the credit card companies, they have a certain amount of pulls that they can do. And if you're outside of the amount that they're allotted for the month, I've seen that those people are not, their accounts are not closed because technically the company was in violation of pulling the report. However, that has been something I have heard. I do not have any proof. I have not tracked it. I have no tangibility because I've not done the work to request what number I was from the creditor to then turn around and dispute the inquiry. So for best practices, we just err on the side of caution that you don't do it because we don't know what is the trigger that makes them keep the account on file, the inquiry on file. I mean, remove the inquiry, but keep the account versus what removes everything. And then you close the ratio. Great question.
Would you know the law that says if they don't grant you the account, that say you apply for something, you didn't get it, and they give you inquiry? Do you know the law where you can get that inquiry off? Because in order for them to get the inquiry, they have to grant you something. They just cannot give you inquiries and you didn't get anything.
Do I know the law off the top of my head? No, but if you go to the FTC, you can get that actual law coding. And if you want to write a free form letter, you can. So if you go to the FCRA and grab the law, you can write your own free form letter to do it. But off the top of my head, no, I don't know all of the codings myself. But great question. No problem. Also, whenever I send an attack letter to the bureaus, they reply that, okay, we already said that. Not sure if it was answered. Could you please explain? So I did not answer it because I wanted to show you in the system. So if you give me 1 second, Sing, I'm going to actually show you after I finish the first round of dispute. So hang tight. I got the answer for you. Okay. So for the first round of dispute, it's going to be the Punch of Fury, Supreme Boosted. So let's click back here. Round 1. So if you guys have the free platform, You would come here to Punch of Fury. The first round is supposed to be handwritten, so you're going to select that option, and you're going to select Supreme Boosted. If you guys have the Pro option, you're just going to click this button right here. It will generate the creditor letters along with the letters to the credit bureau. And then you just hit Start Round. You type in Confirm. And then it will generate the letters for you. As you can see, y'all, I don't have no money in my account, but it generated the first round of attack because my client was using Credit Dyno. Once you have done that, you can go back into the system. You would go to static letters. You would go back to handwritten again. And for best practices, I just scroll all the way down to the bottom because the system jumps. And sometimes if you're not focused, you'll click the wrong box. You're going to click on Factor Trust, Microbill, Data X, Clarity. If your client has bankruptcy, you definitely want to make sure you're doing Data X. Credco, ARS, LCI, Innovis, LexisNexis. And then you're going to hit Start Round. And as long as you have $1 in the account, it will generate the letters for you. If you do not have $1, it would nicely tell you this: you ain't got no money, so it won't print. Okay. To answer Mr. Singh's question, how do you handle the stall letters that you get? So if you got the stall letter on Monday and you opened the mail, you saw it was a stall letter, you would come back here to the static letters and you would scroll to where it says stall letter and you would check the box. You will put in the date that you sent the original documentation. When you put that date in there, it will then generate the letter for you that you're going to print out, and then you're going to reprint whichever credit bureau disputes that you had. So for instance, if you got that stall notice from TransUnion, you're going to go here and you're going to reprint the stall letter for TransUnion, and you're going to reprint the actual dispute letters for TransUnion and attach this stall letter to that packet and remail it. If it is outside of a 14-day window, you are not going to do anything. You're going to wait for the next round of attack. What I would suggest is to then print the stall letter, include it with that next round of dispute that you're utilizing. Okay. But if it's within that 14-day window, you're coming into the system, you're going to go to the stall letter and you're going to go ahead and print. If you guys have the Pro, you can actually drop the original dispute letter that you had here, and it will print the stall letter with each one of the dispute letters from that particular credit bureau. So that's how you would handle it. Does that make sense, Mr. Singh? Let me know if it makes sense. Let me see. My pleasure. I'm here to help. I'm here to help. Now, if you want the system to mail your letters for you, you can simply click on Mail Out. This is what happens when it's first class double-sided, but as y'all see, it says it's supposed to be a single-sided letter. So you would come here, switch it to single-sided. This is what the new cost is. If you do not have the money in the bank, you just hit cancel. You go ahead and load the money. You come back to the client, you select mail out, and the system will then mail it out for you. Remember, if it's after 12 p.m., it goes out the next business day. If it's before 12 p.m., it goes out the same day. You hit cancel. Now, what will happen is if you do not tell the system to mail it out, you have to click download all and print it yourself. If you do not hit download all and print it yourself, guys, the system don't know what you did. The system is going to assume that you downloaded the letters automatically. So you have to be on top of it, that you're grabbing it the way that you're supposed to. All right. So we're going to hit close here. So we have officially loaded the client. We have completed the first round of disputes. We have done the secondary letters. We've also answered the stall letter request, how to handle stalls. What other questions, concerns, or comments do you guys have for me to answer for you tonight? Any questions? Hey, Nicole, what questions do you have, my love?
Hello again. So I'm wondering, when you are doing, let's just say it's round 2, right?
Mhm.
And you've done the re-import, right?
Mhm.
Does Dispute Panda basically update automatically with that new re-import what has been removed, or is that a manual process?
Nope, it updates what's removed. So you are on the Pro, you're able to see what exactly has been removed. When you guys are doing it on the free, you don't get that information. Now, what you would be able to do is under the history tab, you will be able to see the score changes, but you would have to manually go through the credit report to see what was taken off, what was removed, all of that, if you have the free program. If you have the Pro, it tells you that information right next to the history tab is the update tab. Would you like me to switch over so I can show you?
Yes,
Okay,
please.
cool beans. Let me grab, hold on. Let me grab
Because
this.
that's actually something that I'm missing right now with what I'm using. It doesn't show me the updates. It literally shows me everything, and then I have to manually go in and
Gotcha. Let me grab this so I can remember to come back in it. And then, oh, you know what? I'll just open another window. Hang on one second, guys. Okay. So right here is an update tab. If there was anything deleted, removed, it gives you that information. And this is on the client level. So now I can do a share screen like I showed you guys with the report, and I can use this for marketing on this level. So on the Pro, you do get the breakdown, and it literally lists out what was removed, what was deleted on the account for you. And if anything's been updated to positive, it has that information as well. Good question, Nicole. All right, Ken, did you have another question for me? I know Ken had his hands up. Okay. Singh said if we have uploaded the credit report in the first week of April and there is no change to the credit report, do we need to upload a new credit report to see, or we can say, okay, so if you do not update the credit report, you're doing what's known as blind disputing, which means you don't know if anything was removed or deleted. Every single round, whether you are using Credit Dyno or another credit monitoring system, for you to find out if there's been changes, you have to update the credit report. So if you're using Credit Dyno, you would just click this one-click import because it's the new month, right? You would just simply click this one-click import and it will pull in the client's profile. Or if you're using one of the other credit monitoring softwares, you would log into their software, refresh the report, and then bring it into the system for it to be used. Does that make sense, Singh? And again, if you're, no matter which software you're using, my recommendation is to always pull every 35 days at minimum, because it's roughly going to take about 5 days for the mail to get there. By law, the FCRA states that we have to give the credit bureau 30 days to dispute, to follow the dispute and complete the dispute process. So even if you're not waiting for the letters to come back, 35 days is your golden window. So if you're using Smart Credit, Identity IQ, you're going to log into their platform, update the credit report, download the credit report if you're using MyScore IQ, copy the HTML if you're using Smart Credit, put it in here, and then do your next round of attack. Great questions. Go ahead, Nicole. What questions you got for me?
you just answered it.
Oh.
I was about to ask, if you're using the other ones, because I noticed that there's a drop down here where it says Credit Dyno that you can select the other ones, but you still have to go through logging in, downloading it, and then uploading it, dropping it
Yep.
in here with the other ones versus just doing the one click. Okay.
Yep. Because this particular integration is only for Credit Dyno. So think of this, if you're using any other credit monitoring software, it's just housing the username and password for your client and the last word of the social. That's literally all it's doing. Great question. Any other questions, concerns, or comments, guys? Let me see. All these lights hot. Okay, you understand me? They hot. Like I feel like I'm poppy corn. Hold on. My pleasure. My pleasure. Okay. So if we don't have any other questions, guys, I am okay with letting y'all go be great on purpose. I wanted to just make sure that you guys had an open floor to ask any questions about the system. But today we literally loaded the client in, put their information in the software, and we are literally, all you have to do now, guys, is either download it or load the money up in there. Okay, load the money up in there and let the system mail it out for you tomorrow. Okay, no color. Again, I would recommend if you're going to choose to do certified mail, unless you are specifying in litigation, don't do certified mail till round 3. Y'all are going to be spending money. Let me show you how much it costs. See how much it costs? Look at that. Would you see that? Come on, somebody. No, it's a lot. It's a lot. All right. So completely up to you guys how you want to pivot. But if there are no more questions for me, if there are no more questions for me, I do want to say thank you guys so much for coming in. We will be back here on Wednesday, dipping and doing with you guys. And I want to thank everyone who participated today. Anyone who sent me an email, I will go ahead and respond back in the morning with any questions that you have. Any other questions? All right. Well, David, thanks for pulling up to the club. Okay. Thank you guys all for coming in and talking to me about the platform and asking your questions. We are back here on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are here on Thursday at, I got glitter on my face, y'all. We're here Thursday for the pro people. So if you guys have any questions, concerns, or comments, please feel free to reach out. I do have a booking link. So if you guys do need to book to go over a client specific file, I will anyone that shot me an email, I will send you guys my link so you guys can book with me. Other than that, keep being a beast in these credit streets. Thank you guys for hanging out with me and David. And I hope you guys have an amazing remainder of your week. See you guys on Wednesday. Bye.